something I think we all need. I titled the 12 benefits of owning property. 12 benefits. Let me preface it this way. Sometimes some of you take advantage of this excellent and amazing opportunity just to make money. That's okay. That's okay. If what you are here to do is to get an ancillary source of income, make some extra bucks, that's okay. There are always bills to be paid. Always people to help, relatives and destinies to pursue. But can I submit to you, one of the worst things you would do for yourself is to come to an opportunity like this and beyond just making the monies you make, fail to own a piece of real estate. You will regret it. You know, my dad, before he passed, told me a story several years ago of how he owned a piece of land in Morocco, which is now via extension. And because he didn't see any value in it, he sold it and went and bought a piece of property in Benin City. I guess you know why you're saying wow. Just like you're saying wow, may your kids not say wow to you. Where were you? When people are buying the future, you know, the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, has already categorized the Lekki Corridor as the fastest growing piece of real estate in the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. If you don't own a property in this axis, you will regret it. So it's easier to buy the future now while it is available and accessible, because very soon the price will be beyond reach. So please do well. That's why we have Flourish Estates. One of the estates we advertise on the PBO platform is the Flourish Estates. We have several of them, and I'm sure you'll be getting to know maybe from the Superstar Ambassador or somebody else when they come to speak to us. Let me share with you on why you need to own property. 12 benefits. Are you ready for this? Number one, it is the greatest source of enduring wealth. The greatest, none compares, is the greatest source of enduring wealth. This is one thing that doesn't diminish. It doesn't diminish. It's a wealth that subsists in every situation and in every circumstance. Now, for those who deal on petroleum products or deal in natural resources, one of the things they know is the fluctuation in the international market, always fluctuating. Yeah, once in a while, a couple of economic indices can affect the cost and the price of land, but again, when it comes to substantially remaining the same, nothing compares to real estate, nothing. I mean, I've seen that happen too many times, experientially, whereby you buy a piece of real estate, there's something, a property I bought, and somewhere not too far, in the Lekki Corridor, bought it for, I shouldn't tell you, okay, 9 million naira. And the legal document was still being prepared, and somebody was offering me 50 million naira. In the PBO scheme, you buy a property, 1 year later, you can get it back for 40% of the value. Yeah. Buy to sell. So you wonder, why will anybody who is serious about building wealth not take advantage of that? Something is wrong. So don't just come and think about 11,520 that you're going to make. 11,520 is not enough. Can't do you much. So think of going the entire value chain. Don't just be a PBO. Become one that will take the game to the highest level. Buy properties. Buy properties. So the first thing you need to know about that property that you're going to purchase is that it's the greatest source of enduring wealth. Number two, is the most important factor for settlement in life. Until there is land, nothing lands. If you don't have a land, you remain a permanent wanderer. You become somebody of no fixed address, movable, subject to ejection at the whims and caprices of those who own the land. You can be totally uprooted. All the fight and all the issues about what's happening in the northern part of Nigeria is about land ownership. Trying to displace traditional owners of land in order to replace them with new owners. So the moment you don't have a piece of real estate, you are a wanderer. Nobody's sure of your permanent address because you don't have. The only proof that you are situated, established, you have a continuing place of residence, a permanent kind of location, is if you have a property. If you don't have, today you can be in Ajangbadi, the next day you are in Okokomaiko, the next one you are in Lekki, the next one you are in Badagry, the next one you are in Korodu. They say, boy, what's happening to you? I'm a wanderer. Oh, because you don't have a property. You are a wanderer. Until you settle in your own property, you remain a wanderer. And that's the truth. Think for a moment how many addresses you have changed over the course of your journey in life. How many? Which one do you claim as yours? None. So we may not like it, but the truth is that it describes you as a wanderer until you have that piece of real estate. Number three is that it's the best form of tangible inheritance. The best. Of course, there are intangible inheritances. You can give the good name and the goodwill you've generated over the course of your journey in life. Your family members can become inheritors and participators of the goodwill you've been able to generate in the course of your life. But when it comes to tangible, physical, palpable, touchable, something you can reach as an inheritance, there is none that compares to land. None. So it becomes so crazy when you see people acquiring cars and cars and cars, and they don't have properties. The moment you drive your car out of the car lot, it diminishes in value. Immediately. Immediately. I mean, 20 years ago, there were some cars, that used to be the dream. But now, I'm sure if they give it to you, you wonder what's going on here. But land, my goodness. One of our church centers bought a piece of real estate for 15 million, and 3.5 years later, sold it for 135 million. Where can you get that? There is no vehicle that can offer you that. Only in real estate, thank you. Only in real estate. So, here, when, the PBO manager was speaking earlier, he said one of the opportunities that's offered on this platform is you being encouraged to get a piece of property for your children. Think about it this way: how to banish generational poverty. Right now, whatever your age bracket, think about the possibility of in the next 10 to 15 years acquiring 2, 3, 4 properties for your children. By the time they come on their own, they already cannot be considered poor, because there's so much they can leverage upon with those properties. So much. And it's so easy to do now. Because some of us, the Coca-Cola and the recharge card and the Genesis Deluxe movie theaters that we go to patronize can buy you your piece of property. That's the truth. That's the truth. Some of us can even recalibrate our finances and tone down on the expenses we put on appearing too good. It's okay to look good. I believe in it. But first things first. Don't put the cart before the horse. You've got to have, so when you own it, your children after you will keep calling you blessed. So my wife and I decided that in this PBO scheme, all our kids have their own. We are paying for them. Our children, they all have. In addition to other properties, we are putting up for them everywhere we can. Why? What we suffer, they mustn't suffer. One of the best way to do that, putting money in the bank is even not good enough. In fact, people who put a huge sum of money in the bank are people who have no idea of how money works. Put it in property. Some of you are excited about your savings account. A little bit of savings to meet incidental, unexpected, situations of life, yes. But to have large chunks of money and put it in the bank, let me tell you what you are doing. You just work hard and it's helping another person make money on you. Put it in real estate. The value appreciation is much, much better, but it becomes even a lot better when you are keeping it, as an inheritance, as a heirloom for your children. Every one of them should have, both the male and the female children. Number 4, he has a guaranteed long-term return and appreciation. It's guaranteed. Long-term. Long-term. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. There is no circumstances globally that can ever make your property to diminish in value. Just leave it. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So please go for it. I can tell stories and stories. We bought another real estate. I'm a pastor. One of the things I do a few other things. And one of our property location. We bought this property $435,000 in the US. 8 years, the property is $2.5 million. So now, because of the development that came in that area, some people it's becoming very commercialized and we want to move. So guess what? We are leveraging on the humongous equity we've generated on that property to be able to relocate to a bigger and a better, more advantageous position and still have some extra money. I can never understand why a man will not have property. I can't understand. I can't understand. If you don't, you are not smart. I'm sorry. Own properties. One of the gospel musicians, let me not mention his name, who patronizes PBO, one of the leading gospel musicians in this country. We're having a chat the other day, and he said, Pastor Philip, thank God for the opportunity that Pwan has offered to own properties. He said he's now talking to his mates that please own properties. I've seen a number of us, after a particular section of their life, they have nothing to fall back to. He said, I'm glad I have money now working with Pwan. You want to know his name? I'm talking about Nathaniel Basley. So many. Every other thing fades. Long-term, appreciation. Long-term guaranteed return on property. And guess what? With or without doing anything to it. Whether you do something to it or not, it appreciates. Incredible. And that's the advantage, like you know very well, why you buy properties from P1, all the affiliates, because you may buy it at a premium, but you are guaranteed that in due time, you are going to get it back. No stories. We are big enough, listen, as a group, we are big enough to take on any shock. Any eventuality, we guarantee your property. I hope you know that. So if you are here for the first time, the reason you buy from a big organization is that your money is too small to make us run away. We can guarantee it. So get into it, keep it there, preserve it, and get long-term return on your investment. Long-term return on your investment. Gold fluctuates in the market. Every other thing fluctuates. Oil, do I need to tell you? You see how it affects the Nigerian economy. Fluctuates badly. But land, you can be sure. Number 1, number 5. There is a permanent market for land sales. Permanent market for land sales. I hope you know that in another 15, 20 years, you will be begging people to buy petroleum products. Because oil, as we know now, is becoming irrelevant. Renewable fuels is the future. America, that used to be one of the largest consumers of petroleum products, is now a net exporter. And then, under the Biden administration, they want to even get out of that. The guy is pursuing $2 trillion to make oil of no relevance, so that people can work with electric cars. Because the second thing people like to trade on that gives them excitement and money is petroleum products. But listen carefully. Why there is a permanent market for land, there is no permanent market for oil products. Please don't miss that. It's going down. That's why you have regulatory authorities that determine, even though you have so much oil, you can't sell it all. Because they have to regulate the market. So please understand that one product you will have, any day you want to sell it, you are guaranteed somebody will buy it, is land. Guaranteed. Somebody will buy it. Another reason why you need to own that property. Number 1, number 6, is that right? Number 6 is that, I don't know if I talked about it, little or no maintenance cost. Little or no maintenance cost. Again, especially when you buy with organizations like ours. Little or no maintenance cost. Just leave it there. You don't need to put security guard. You don't need to water it. You don't even need to go there and pour oil to secure the place. Tell me, she's laughing. Tell me any other thing you own. You buy a car, number 1, you have to pay insurance company, 2 of us. For buying a car that the value is going down, somebody is making money on you. It's called insurance. Then you renew your particulars. You do all kinds of things. Tell me what you have that you won't have to be paying so much more to preserve. But for land, no maintenance costs, just leave it there. Just leave it there. The day you wake up, the land appreciates. And somebody says, I don't need land. The person is not thinking well. Why am I saying this? I don't just want you to own land. Every person you meet as a PBO, this is what you say to them. I want to help you with something that you will thank me for later. That's how to market it. You will thank me later. You say, what do you mean? Let me show you how. If you don't know how to speak, take them to your group, your center, your upline, or household, bring them to this center. And I will show them why owning a piece of real estate is a wise way and a wise thing to do. Number what? Number 7. Land offers you maximum flexibility. I'll explain. Maximum flexibility. What do I mean by that? It's like a blank canvas. You can do with it howsoever you will. Here are 5 things, for instance, you can do with your land. You can decide to build on it. And that can be either residential or commercial. Number 2, you can decide to turn it into a farm and plant on it. Number 3, you can decide to graze, animal husbandry on it. Number 4, you can decide to speculate. That means you just buy for the purpose of keeping and reselling. It's called speculation. You don't want to do anything, especially when you're talking to people who are in the diaspora, when you're reaching out to your kids and kin of friends abroad. Give them all these options. Because they always tell you, Nigeria, what do I do to do in Nigeria? Nigeria is stop, blah, blah, blah. I say, listen, my friend, there's something you need to do. It's a good place to keep your money, speculate. In a few years, cash out. You don't have to come and build if you don't want to. What I'm saying to you is that take advantage of the opportunity to make extra money. Nobody says no to extra money. If you can make them say, so speculation, it's another thing. Number 5 that makes land very a flexible, tangible thing that you can have is that you can also decide to just be for your bequest, to bequeath to as part of your inheritance. The reason I'm just buying this for my children, because it will hold value. Can you imagine a car you buy now? By the time Lagos traffic and reckless driving bash that car left and right, your son will tell you, Dad, is this the best thing you can do for me? It's not a good bequest. It's not a good inheritance. So 5, that's only property give you that level of flexibility. 5 different things you can do, and within these, there are varying dimensions of each of them that you can choose to do. Very important. Number 9. Okay, whatever. Number 8. Property gives you a low entry price. Low entry price. Tell me, where have you ever heard that you can own a home by paying 15,000 every month? Where? Only in Pwan. Through network marketing. You can aggregate your sums over a period of time and own whatever you want to own. So he offers you a low entry price. I need you to tell me if you can. Think about it. I do business consulting because I'm a consultant. Tell me any business that offers a kind of return that property does, and you have the possibility or opportunity of being able to enter at the low entry price like real estate. None. None. Not one. If you have, I'd like to discuss it. You can enter gradually. We even offer you opportunity to pay for a property in 12 months. 6 months. And if you are a hard negotiator, you can even get it for 1.5 years and 2 years. You can. And just be dropping your money. Where do you do that? Do you buy cars that way? No. The only way you can buy a car that way is to go and meet somebody to finance it, in which case you are paying more. Because you are paying interest. But this one, the price is fixed up front. Up front, doesn't change. I mean, look at people telling you that no matter the inflation record, your property price is guaranteed for 5 years. That's crazy. Nobody does it.